What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are at about 004 as it is right now, with 7 hours 21 minutes left in this day, the third day of September. We hit a high price of 0043. A little bit, is that a little bit higher than what we were intending? Let's see. Let me just double check here. High to low. Let's see. That might be a little bit lower than what we were intending, right? But something in this area nonetheless. I think that is the high. It is possible that we do go a little bit higher, and we can. If we were to see prices above 0044 or right at 0044, don't get too excited. Still in an area where we're going to find resistance, but right now it's a pretty bearish look on the daily time frame. Let's look at the 1 hour. We'll zoom out and then we'll come back to the daily. Okay, so looking at the 1 hour here, and actually I'd rather do this on something with some volumes. Let's pull up the Bybit chart. It might take a second because for whatever reason, okay, cool. It's, whenever I expect it to be fast, it's slow, and then whenever I expect it to be slow, it's fast. So maybe I just need to say it'll take a second every single time. But here it is, taking a second. So I was right. I was perceived to be wrong, but I was actually right. It's taking a second. Unfortunately, that's what it is. I'm gonna try something here. I'm just gonna try something and see if we can make this work. Let's see. I don't want the noise of the computer on the microphone, so I have it set to like a low performance setting. But let's turn the performance up and see if it makes a difference. I don't know. Anyways, I put like a barrier in between the mic and the computer, but I don't know if that helps at all. But the 1 hour time frame here, it's definitely moving a little bit more smoothly. Finding resistance at the overbought zone. Looking at the RSI here, overall it's bullish. I do like it, and the volume's decent. You got some decent volume coming down though as well. It's not bad. This isn't a bad look, and you could be finding support right here. You really could be finding support right here at prior resistance and moving up. Let's look at this from a relative low to a relative high. Because while the daily time frame looks a little bit sad, the 1 hour doesn't look bad. You might go down to 00398, just below 004 there, and then come up and find support. You could find support here as well. There's no need to go to the 382, but typically you would in this kind of scenario at least go to the 382. Stochastics look bearish. MACD's just cross red. I would think you go lower. So at least if you are to move higher, if this is not the high, at least find support at 00398 and then move up. If you close below multiple hours below 00398, then you're probably going down. That probably is the top, okay? And looking at the indicators, I'm not convinced that this is the top just yet, but I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised at all if we were now moving our way. I say top, it's just a relative high. It's not the top, right? It's just a relative high, right? That's not even the top. That's not even the top. But we are finding resistance here at prior support. Hold on. Got to clear out my throat, man. All kinds of noises from the computer, from me. 004 right now. Bearish engulfing candle on that last 4 hour candle. We got 3 hours 18 minutes left in this one. Will we continue down? I think if bearish engulfing candles are a sign of bearishness, and they are, that might promote lower prices as time goes on. I wouldn't be surprised at all. What about this? What about this from a low to a high? We take this relative low to this discernible high here. Come on now. Right at the 1272. It's very common at the 1272 to come up and find resistance at the 786 to 886. Sometimes you do go between the golden ratio and the 786, so that's fine as well. If we do see prices get above consistently, not just wicking, but consistently above 004413, if we can start closing some 4 hour time frames in a row above there, maybe you have found your low. I'm not convinced yet, but it's possible. I would think that we have lower to go though. Looking at these indicators here, looking at the RSI, rejecting the overbought zone, not a good look in my opinion. It didn't help you last time. I doubt it helps you now. Stochastics coming down, and the MACD's right at an area to reject if we are showing some bearishness here and we do move down. So you got some pretty bearish setups here on your 4 hour time frame to make you go a little bit lower. If we throw this fib retracement back on here, or extension, retracement and extension on here, if we put it on with this, assuming that's the high, I mean, your golden ratio is very close to that 1414 area. 00328, that could be where you go. 00328, 0033, 0035, all those areas, right? Those are the target areas intended. And you have already hit one of those target areas as of yesterday, 0035. But I wouldn't be surprised if you went a little bit lower. We look at this on a daily time frame here, from a low to a high, and not the fake out high, but 0033 is the golden ratio, and I wouldn't be surprised in the least if that's where we went right there. So something a little bit lower. working your way down, you do look productive to the downside. So go to the golden ratio 0033 to 0031, somewhere in that zone. Find support and then move up higher. I expect that between now and next week, you'll find your low. And then going into the following weeks, going into the end of the month, the middle of the month, you should be recovering and seeing some upside, dramatic upside price action take place. All in all, for Zebec, the game plan is still the same. We're expecting you to go all the way up, man, all the way up to about 2 cents to 4.5 cents, likely in that 3 to 4.5 cent zone. Could you go higher? Absolutely. Absolutely you could. And what if we saw a replication of this move here? And if we take a low to a high here, if we were to see a replica of this move, and let's just say the low is at 0.003 right there, 3.3 cents, that's right in that range. That's absolutely right in that range there. Could we go higher? It's possible. It's very possible. We take the all-time high here. Well, what was the all-time high to what is the all-time low? Going just above the 2272 is pretty common, but that 4.5 cent area coming up with the 2618 up there, that 4.5 cent area here coming up with this 2618, I think it's going to be increasingly difficult to get to 6 cents or higher, at least in one fell swoop. I feel pretty confident that this is the area that you'll stop at, right? Somewhere around here, 3 to 4.5 cents, somewhere in this kind of zone. 2 cents at a minimum, right? 2 cents at a minimum. But if you were to go higher, that 7 to 10 cent area is very possible. I wouldn't be surprised if you found some turbulence there. I really doubt that we get up there, though, by the end of October or sometime in November. But I wouldn't be surprised if we're well above 2 cents by the end of October. Anyways, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves, all right? Bye-bye.